5 to 6. You usually don't have the luxury to have 6, but you have 5 that you can roll through the entire time. If you're lucky enough to have 6, you're in really good shape. And then, and then we talk about having 3 tight ends, and really 2 backs, possibly 3 backs that can play all the time in our offense. So the biggest thing about Coach Cubitt's offense is being able to be multiple and go from and you saw a lot of that, especially early in the year, being able to go from 3 tight ends to 4 wideouts to 2 backs to 1 back to a full back. The whole concept of the offense is to keep people off balance, and but you can't do that without wideouts. You have to have wideouts to start off with.
What's your evaluation of the 2 freshmen that we don't know much about, Taylor and Murdoch?
Yeah, DJ played as a freshman, for us on special teams a little bit, played a little bit of offense. Towards the end of the year, played more and more offense. DJ's got some ability in space. He's got good speed, good football intelligence. He comes from a really, really good program in University School down in Florida. He's got some ability. He's not very strong right now. He's not very big, so he's got to get stronger. He's not going to get any taller, but he's got to get stronger. And Marchie Murdoch is a kid that played a bunch, played a lot of high school football in a really, really good league down in Mansfield. And so Marchie had some flash moments in camp. We didn't feel like he had enough to play. He's going to have to step up. We need him to be in in that rotation of 5.
Coach, you may have answered the question already, but just talking about the junior college guys, a couple of looks like long and lean guys according to their measurements there.
Yeah, we wanted to get size. You play in this league, and you see successful wideouts in this conference. They're 6'2", 6'3" guys. The Allen Robinsons of the world. Northwestern has a couple of those guys. Every team has one. And when we got here, that's one thing we were missing, and we really hadn't recruited a lot of size, true long size. In the West Coast spread offense, whatever you want to call it, you need outside receivers that are taller, longer guys to be able to run 3-step game, to be able to go get the ball. So in the red zone, they're not dead. You play with smaller guys, you get in the red zone, you're pretty much using tight ends, or you're done because you can't stretch the field. So we tried. Every single kid we took, with probably the exception of Mikey Dudek, have length, have height. They're all at least 6'1", 6'2". Mikey is 5'10". Mikey did enough on junior film and in camp that we said we have to have Mikey for 2 years in camp. So, but other than that, we tried to get some length. We had to.
Looks like you got some length. I mean, the twins are obviously both a couple of 6'3" guys, some length in the defensive backfield. You like that as well?
Yeah, Tyree, you guys will have a fun time figuring out who's who, but Tyree is the DB. He played corner. He was a high school quarterback. He played corner at Pierce. We think he could be a safety potentially. That's what we're going to have to figure out this spring, if he can play safety or not. If he can play corner at 6'3", you'd be really, really happy. But if he can move inside and give us some help at safety, that would be a big-time bonus for us.
Tyree's the DB. That sounds good to me.
Tyree is the DB.
Right.
There you go.
Alex, how important was it this class to kind of moving things forward? How important was this class in getting a good class?
Huge. I think it was really important to get some mid-year guys on offense because we graduated a bunch. We're like the reverse of the defense. Offensively, the defense has almost everybody back, although there are some huge need areas, D-line, secondary. Offensively, it was make it or bust. I mean, it really was at wideout. We had to get some guys here early. And I'll be honest with you, I feel like probably the luckiest guy in the country right now that we were able to go get 3 guys early, 2 of which are big, long guys that we thought that early on our board going into February when we said we're going to go get junior college guys or mid-year high school guys that can make an impact for us, Geronimo and Tyrin were in the top 4 on the board for us. And when you can say we got 2 of the 4, that's big time. I mean, it really is, especially when you don't have a bowl season and you didn't win 10 games. To go out and get 2 of the best 15 wideouts in the country and get them to Champaign, Illinois when they're from Philly and Tampa. And I'm not patting anybody in the back. I think that's really, really good. So it was huge for us to get those guys early. But you know, I think offensively, the tight end is a big need because we're going with 2 seniors. Mikey being a high school kid, and then Chase Crouch being able to come in early. And Chase is the kind of kid you guys are going to really enjoy because Chase legitimately thinks he's coming in here to start at quarterback for us. And that's not because that's what we promised him. That's what kind of kid he is. He's never lost in anything. He's just that kind of kid. You know, and then Joe Fotu, who's a kid that we just kind of recently got on, is a super, super competitive, high energy, tough, hard-nosed defensive lineman. You guys watched the same season we did. We need D linemen in the worst way. And so with Paul James finally getting here again and Joe coming in to help us, we're still recruiting at that spot. We've got to get more depth and more size and more athletic in the pass rush game. Those are the things that we really focused on the entire spring, summer, fall.
I think the school speaks for itself, the academics and everything else, but what did you sell your kids, your recruits on, football-wise?
Football-wise?
This is a place to come.
Offensively, honestly, we sold the system. We sold the gains we made. You know, we jumped anywhere from 60 to 90 spots in every offensive category in the country. Literally. There's no making up numbers. And sacks given up, third down, we were one of the top in the Big Ten. Pass offense, we were one of the top in the Big Ten. Pass efficiency, one of the top in the Big Ten. We sold that. We sold Bill Cubit. We really did. Sold the heck out of Bill Cubit to them receivers, to the quarterbacks, to offensive linemen. We said Bill Cubit will take us to where we want to go. And obviously today was a big sign for that, for him, and what a blessing and opportunity for him. Defensively, we sold. We're going to get to where our offense jumped this year. We need help. We're not far off. We're young. But we need help. We need size up front. We need to be more athletic at linebacker, and we need to be more athletic in the secondary. And older at all 3 spots, like yesterday. You know, so we sold that. You could come in and make an impact here. So from a football side, we sold the people, and we sold the opportunity to play on offense and defense because of the holes that we have or the lack of depth that we have. No problem.
You sleep it all night after getting the class signed and delivered?
I'm gonna go Christmas shop tonight. It's, you know what's crazy is I think me and you talked. They cut it from 3 weeks to 2 weeks, and we, you know, obviously you hope you were in the middle of bowl practice. Obviously we weren't, so we got a little bit more time. But you're squeezing what you normally are used to 3 weeks of work into 2, and when you have mid-year guys, you have to see them and their parents. You know, and the junior college guys, their parents may not necessarily live in the same place that the kid does. So when you got to see them in the same day and you get one visit each with Coach Beck, I mean, me and him logged some miles now just because you had, you know, Geronimo Allison's a good example. Council Bluffs, Iowa to Tampa, you got to do it in a day. The twins are in L.A. and mom's in Philly. So and you got to do it in the same day. You know, some were easier. Joe Fotu's from out there in San Fran, goes to school in San Fran. So some of them are easier than others, and then there's a few we didn't get. You still had to go do it with them. And you got 2 weeks to do it, plus you got to see your February signees, and you're trying to recruit some, and so we didn't. I mean, I didn't sleep much those 2 weeks, but I wish we were practicing right now, to be honest with you.
Where'd you go? He can go. He's got to get.
How has recruiting changed here and now going into third class of 200s?
We know what we're recruiting academically. We know what kind of kids we can take, what kind of kids we're expected to take. I think that's the biggest thing is academically we've said, all right, now we understand. So we're not fighting the battle of we don't know who to take. You know, we don't have any excuses anymore. We know who we can take. We're more familiar with the state. We've built those relationships. I remember standing here 2 years ago saying we're going to build relationships in the state. We have. And really just keep selling the brand. You know, we talk a lot. I talk a lot with our staff. Sell the brand. What's the brand? What is the brand? What is the brand?
Is it Cubit right now, the offense? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not so much one person, but I think it's explosive offense. It's the jumps we've made offensively. Sell it. We sell it. I mean, anybody to listen, we tell them how awesome we are on offense, and it's not arrogant. That's what we want to be known for offensively, and then defensively, you're selling the fact that hey, we're playing a ton of young guys. We're going to get better, and so. But as a whole, we're selling Coach Beck. We're selling ourselves as people. We got a lot of things to sell. Academics. I mean, it's the second year in a row this has been a top 10 public school in the country. You're selling all that, but we're trying to make it into a brand. We're trying to make it to where it's becoming cool to go to Illinois again. And the positivity from the coaches, the positivity from the parents has been a lot better. I couldn't say that a year ago. People are seeing strides. As more and more schools Coach Beck has gotten into, people have started to become more comfortable with him. And honestly, like a guy like Mike Bellamy's helped us a lot because Mike feels comfortable in recruiting the city and people know Mike and he's helped us bridge that gap a lot. So as long as, like Coach said, as long as we can maintain continuity on the staff and keep hammering and hammering and hammering and hammering, I think it'll work itself out. Everybody wants to see 4 stars, 5 stars, high recruiting rankings because that's what people pay money to see. All we can do is recruit the best kids we can and get those kids that we can get in school, and hopefully they're also the best players. And I think we've had a lot of success. I really do. It's not going to be a highly ranked class because we're not going to sign 30 guys or 28 guys. We're going to sign 17 to 20 that fit what we need. And I think what will be awesome when we look at it in February is we're going to address all our needs. We've done a really good job of only addressing needs. D-line, secondary, wideouts. That's really been our number one emphasis.